What's up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Today's Monday, August 5th, 2019. I've got my water in my hand and I'm ready to dance. You know what time it is. Let's reset. So Passover was near and Jesus saw a crowd approaching. There were some questions amongst the disciples as to whether what was available, the food, was sufficient to provide for what the Bible said was about 5,000 in number. Well, they were all able to be fed. The Bible says that Jesus broke bread and they were given bread and fish. They ate aplenty, as my grandmother said. And then Jesus said, now tell everybody, sit down. And everybody was full. And watch this, there was still some left over. Jesus told his disciples, now gather up the fragments so that nothing would be wasted, so that nothing would be lost. As I got to the point where I was finishing up and then going through proofs of my new book, Crap Lingers When You Don't Wipe. Crap Lingers When You Don't Wipe. It would help for me to get the title right. Crap Lingers When You Don't Wipe. I was thinking about and I was looking over some of the stories, or in following after the example of Jesus, I was looking over some of my own life's parables. And I was thinking at times, is this necessary? Does it take all that? Should I include this? Should I leave this part out? What is the point of it all? Then I was reminded that where I stumbled, there my treasure lies. But my treasure was not just for me. It wasn't just so that I can rehearse or look back at what was traumatic, at what was painful, at what still even to this day brings me to tears. But God was gathering up the fragments for other people. It was for my good, it was for His glory, but it was also for the assistance of others. And I want to encourage you as we get ready for a phenomenal week that God is gathering up the fragments of your life. Nothing, absolutely nothing that you have gone through, that you are currently going through, or even that you will go through, will be lost. That it's all for a purpose. And there is a purpose behind every difficult moment, behind every tragic season. The Bible says, as you know, in Revelation 19:10, that the testimony of Jesus, it bears the spirit of prophecy. And some people, in the midst of God gathering up the fragments of your life, they're going to hear your testimony of how you got over, and it is going to become their prophetic word. There's an old song that says, how I got over, my soul looks back and wonders how I got over. But as it is for me, I believe that it's the same thing for you, that you're not going to have to look back, that your mind, that your spirit, that your will is not going to have to look back and wonder how you made it over. You're going to be able to say, it was good that I was afflicted, and that I see what God has done here. I see how God used that difficult moment in order to change the trajectory of not only my life, but the life of someone else. That my soul knows exactly how I got over, and other people will look at the fragments that God has gathered together in your life, all of the broken pieces, and say, because God did it for him, because God did it for her, I too believe that I can see into my future and see that it looks good on me, that my future is bright, that all is not lost, but what was seemingly lost is being gathered together. So over the weekend I was having a conversation with my neighbor, and he said to me, well, I see you're out there making moves and you're still giving that good word. And my response was, well, I'm trying to do the best I can, but I'm still fat, I'm still black, and I'm still single. That's one of the chapters in my new book. And what he said to me, but he said, no, it's not that. He said, but you ought to say, and it should be, I'm still pleasantly plump, I'm still a king, and I'm still weighing my options as far as my future queen. And here is the question. How do you view things? When word got to Jesus and they said, Jesus, Lazarus, the one you love, he's sick, he's dead, something's going on. And the response of Jesus was, this sickness, this thing, this situation is not unto death, but it's unto the glory of God. How do you view your difficult moments? How do you view your tragic times? How do you view your sad seasons? How are you viewing this? Are you viewing it from the vantage point of someone who, like Peter, when Jesus told his disciples that one of you will betray me? And when that rooster crowed, baby, and the Bible says that Peter began to weep bitterly. See, but there's a fighter on the inside of you. There's one who understands that God is gathering the fragments together. So even when I experience loss, when I experience defeat, when I experience failure, there's something on the inside of me that is beyond that of a victim, that is beyond that of one who has just simply failed. Beyond that of one who has thrown it all away, who is a long lost soul. There's something on the inside of me that says I'm a fighter. And I've seen God fight on my behalf before. I've seen God fight on behalf of my brother or of my sister or of my neighbor or of those who came before me. And I've got to pick up and understand that because God gathered the fragments together as a leader, as a fighter, I can do better next time. How do you view the fragments of your life? Well, here's encouragement for this week. There will be things that you and I experience that we may end up being disappointed in ourselves. We may question even ourselves at times. Am I gifted for this? Am I enough? Well, the answer is simple. Absolutely. Because in the midst of everything that you do, in the midst of everything that you go through, success, loss, defeat, victory, failure, all of the above, God is still going to gather together them fragments, baby. So, change your perspective. Take a good look at how you view things. Now, set your resolve. Make it your decree that God is going to bring all this together. It's for your good, for His glory, and it's for the assistance of someone else's story that is soon to come. Bless somebody. Share this with somebody. I love you. Have a wonderful week. Peace.